Cloud. Recording in progress. Welcome to Cook Along number 3. We're going to talk about side dishes today, and we're going to start by defining them. I've got a little quiz for you. We're going to cook. We are going to do a few food show questions to get everyone ready for food show. And then, of course, what do you look for every Saturday? What do you look forward to every Saturday with Miss Gretchen? A fun food game, right? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna play a game. You'll like my game. In the bathroom. Okay, sorry. And then of course we'll visit about your project log. Okay. So what do you think a side dish is? Let's start by just defining it.
It's a dish that you get with your main dish.
That's perfect. That is perfect. A dish that you get with the main dish. So it complements the meal. It rounds it out. I think we would get bored if we only had, let's say, bites of turkey without other things, right? Or you only had ham on your plate, or you only had a hot dog. So we need a little few extras to go with it and round it out. So since we made classic hamburgers last week, our side dish this week is French fries. And I'm going to talk about different ways that you can cut your potato to get a few other dishes out of it, or one other dish. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to quiz you. So I'm going to give you a side dish, and I want you to tell me what main dish goes with it. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. The first one is, I always have trouble saying this word because I'm from South Central Texas. I say rice. My boys tell me the word is rice. R-I-C-E, rice. What goes with rice?
Rice, chicken.
Okay. Perfect. Chicken and rice go together. We always serve rice with beef and broccoli at our house, and sometimes orange chicken. Okay, here's another one. Refried beans.
Burritos.
Very good. Very good. And those refried beans go with another side dish, right?
Rice.
Very good. So enchiladas, burritos. I like the chimichangas that you get at Mexican restaurants that are like a fried burrito. They're so good. And I like rice and beans aside. Okay, here's one that's kind of timely for November. Mashed potatoes.
What does mommy eat mashed potatoes with? You can't think?
What about what holiday are we fixing to celebrate?
I get mashed potatoes every time we go to Chicken Express.
Chicken.
Okay, so do you get them with your fried chicken? So fried chicken, I was thinking turkey, ham, but I really like my mashed potatoes. This is not a side dish, but I make shepherd's pie. I make it with beef instead of lamb, but I do mashed potatoes and seasoned ground beef and peas and carrots and a little bit of cheese. And it is the most amazing thing ever. And it sounds crazy. Okay, here's another one. What main dish goes with potato salad?
Chicken.
Chicken, okay. Like barbecue.
Yes, chicken goes with everything.
Hang on just a second.
Chicken Express serves it on me.
No, Chicken Express doesn't serve potato salad. What does mommy make potato salad to go with?
Okay, so I like potato salad. Oh my gosh, Emily, we are the same person this morning. I was just this close to saying brisket. I love it with brisket. Max likes it with steak. So there's lots of options. Okay, here's another side dish. And this is one that my grandpa taught me to make, and it's super easy. But baked beans. What do baked beans go with? Is your mother telling you the answers?
No.
Tell them what you just said.
Chicken.
Chicken. Wait a minute. How many times has Emily said chicken? Yes, baked beans go with chicken.
Everything goes with chicken.
Everything goes with chicken. That's right. We also we serve it with brisket. We also sometimes, if we're having hamburgers or hot dogs, we'll also do baked beans and
My
potatoes.
mother's raising her hand.
Say it again.
My mother's raising her hand.
Is she liking all of these dishes I'm talking about? Is that why she's raising her hand?
That's how we have them.
I love it. When I was growing up, my grandfather was raised really poor, and when he got married, well, actually before that, he worked all over the place. He worked and worked and worked and worked, and he got married to my grandmother and had a great job. And at one point, he decided he was no longer eating chicken because his parents had raised chickens in the yard and they ate them all the time because they were very inexpensive to raise and process and eat. And from then on, do you know what we ate at his house? We weren't eating chicken.
Brisket.
We were eating brisket. And I remember, this is also timely. I was in the 4th grade and we were talking about holidays, and we were talking about different like cultures and what we do on different holidays. And I remember the teacher said, "What does everybody eat on 4th of July?" And I raised my hand and I said, "Brisket." And everybody looked at me like I was insane because the answer was clearly hot dogs, because that's what the rest of America is eating. But anyway, that's what we ate at his house. So, all right, one last side dish, green bean casserole. All the moms know this answer.
I don't think you've ever eaten that.
I've never eaten it.
Well, I'm really not a fan of it, but people love it, and it always comes out at Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it goes with turkey. Very good. All right, so we are going to cook now. And do y'all just have? I heard y'all had a potato emergency. Do you just have one potato? Is that okay? All right, so we've got one potato. So I'm going to do one potato also, in the interest of time. This recipe is not going to be finished before we get done at 10, because it's got to bake for a little while. If you are watching the playback, you can just pause the video so that you can get all of your potatoes peeled and chopped and ready. So the question now is, hang on, I got to get one thing out that I forgot. Maybe I'll get it out. Good grief. Okay. My peeler was kind of buried. All right. So do we peel the potato or do we leave it on?
We peel.
You want to peel it? Okay. This is a preference. I know when you get French fries at a lot of places, they still have the peel on. And the peel actually is full. I know it doesn't look like it because it looks dirty and brown. Do you want me to wait?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I don't think peeler was on my supply list. So the peel, which I peeled off the strip, of course, this is what it looks like. And it doesn't look like much, but the peel is actually full of potassium. And so it's not bad to leave it on. Some people love it. I know when I get French fries, I don't like the end part. Like I don't want a French fry that comes from the end of the potato, but the other pieces, I don't mind the skin on. And I also don't mind a little bit of skin in my mashed potatoes. So this is definitely a preference thing. All right, so did you find your peeler, honey?
Yes.
Emily, are you peeling?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, everybody peel. Be careful with your peeler. I was once using my peeler to peel apples and ended up with 9 stitches in my thumb. Okay, hang on. I'll be right back. Hey, good boy. Hey, good boy. Okay, so I had to let the dog in. Now notice, here's sort of a really good hygiene question for you. If I did let the dog in and I sought to talk it to him and give him a little scratch, what would I need to do before I came back to my cooking?
Wash your hands.
Very good. Always, always, anytime you do something like that.
I don't know how to feel.
It's okay. You hold it into it and you peel away from it. Peeling, it takes a while to get used to peeling. A lot of it is your hands aren't big enough to hold the potato because it's such a huge potato.
Okay, I just went and set my oven, turned it on. Forgot about that. This goes back to the first lesson where you read the recipe all the way through, right? Now, normally I like to, if I'm doing any kind of peeling of carrots or potatoes, I would do it straight into the sink, or I would get myself a grocery sack and peel it into that so it could go straight into the trash. But I'm staying right here in front of the camera, and it looks like Emily is peeling in her sink.
You don't have to get them all.
Okay.
For the infants,
How's it going?
they get it.
Oh.
That's what that's for. You know how old I was before I knew that.
Okay, so mine did not have very many eyes in my potatoes, but if you do see those brown spots after you, the ones I have are real little. But if you have those, you can get them out with the end of your peeler by inserting the end and twisting.
You found that out today. Yep.
And you just twist. Reference. So it doesn't matter if you have a little bit of peel. You don't do it toward them.
I'm a lot of potato peelers.
My grandpa did.
I'm a lot of potato peelers.
Okay, so you're good to go.
Okay.
He's good to go. I was going to say that some peelers, the one that I have, it works both ways. It will go away from me and it also goes back. And this sort of makes really quick work of peeling things. One thing I want to tell you, Emily, is I noticed on, this is a food challenge comment, that y'all had carrots the other day. And there was one team out of the 4 that had carrots that peeled it. So if you ever have carrots, yeah. And really you just kind of scrape them and it's so fast because you know, there's not much to the carrot. It's not like peeling a potato. So just a note, Max is going to bring y'all's original food challenge score sheets with him on Tuesday. He's got them ready to go so you can look at them. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to talk about cutting these. And another thing that I saw at the food challenge is one of the judges commented on some slicing. I don't know whose team it was, but the judge commented that the kids on that team should work on having even cuts. So it really is more appealing than having, like, you know, a big piece of bell pepper and a tiny piece of bell pepper, like everything being the same size. Okay, so we're gonna try that with our potato. Did y'all scrub your potato first?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wonder, and I've never stopped to look it up, but it's like I scrub the potato and then I peel it. It seems counterproductive, doesn't it? Like, why wouldn't you just peel it and not wash it? Because you're getting the dirty part off. I need to look that up sometime. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna slice the end off. And what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to get a big rectangle, not a cube. What's the shape that's sort of a rectangle cube?
A rectangular cube?
Does
that even exist?
No, I don't think so. If it's more, it doesn't have equal parts, then if it doesn't have equal sides, it's a rectangle.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna cut the 2 ends off to where it's more of a block. Very good. And then we're gonna cut sort of all 4 sides off so it gets in a rectangle shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because I really do think that anytime you have something that's not perfect, we call it rustic, and everybody loves it. Okay.
Look, see how flat that sits on the board? And so then let's say.
And Kim just said something that deals with safety. Once we cut these edges off and we have more of a rectangle, it will sit on the cutting board and it's not moving then. It's more secure.
You know what, I'm going to cut this in half because you're struggling getting the knife through it because it's so big. So just do it half at a time, okay?
Okay.
It's still going to make very nice sized French fries.
How big is this potato? It looks huge.
It's ginormous.
Okay.
It's like a Jason's Deli size potato.
Okay, gotcha. Mine is not that big. So if you have a big potato like Emily, cut it in half and then it's more manageable. Then you can get it squared up, it'll sit.
Can I make these potato chips?
You want to make
Okay, so this potato is a russet potato, and it's what they call a mealy potato. It's higher in starch, so it's really good for French fries. And russets and Idahos are mealy potatoes. The other variety is a waxy potato, and these have real thin skin, and they include those really pretty yellow gold potatoes and red potatoes. And they are not good for frying, but they're better for like baking. If you wanted to, we know that the potato is really high in starch and carbohydrate, which turns to sugar in our bodies. What? Carbohydrates. And some people that are doing like a low carb diet actually, instead of a potato, will use a jicama to make French fries. And I tried finding a jicama, but I was not in a store that had one. But we've done those before and they're really good. A jicama, if you've never had one, is a root vegetable. It kind of looks like a turnip, but it tastes more like a potato. So, all right, once you get it squared up, let me know.
I'm squared up.
You're squared up. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and I'm going to try to give you like a top view. We're going to go down the edge here and take a strip off that edge so that then you have this. Okay. And you're going to keep going and you're going to do your whole potato like that. Remember to use your claw hand so that your fingertips are not in the way of the knife blade. Remember to hold the knife gently. And if you feel like you've got too thick of a section, you can half it. This one is too thick.
Well, you're gonna cut them like that in the sticks. It's not gonna be a slab French fry.
So once you have these slabs, Emily, they look like this, right? And then you'll just put them back in a stack.
Get your claw. There you go.
If y'all are watching the playback, this part just takes a while because we've got to be super careful. So if you need to pause this and keep going, you can do that.
Do you understand the purpose of the claw using the bird? To keep your hands. It's really kind of tip.
Okay.
All right.
Oh goodness. This is a little harder than stuff we've been doing, isn't it?
There you go.
Okay, tell me when you got it, Emily.
I got it.
This is reminding me of a very, it's very similar to making a quilt. We have a whole piece of potato, just like a piece of fabric. We're cutting it up and then we're making subcuts, right? So do you have these, Emily, like this?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to stack them to where they're even and you're going to make slices and then you'll have your French fry shape. You are ready. And what you'll end up with, of course, is potato sticks, just like this, right?
Now you do it.
French fry.
Okay, you're a big girl. Don't use our baby.
Put your French fry.
Whoops.
I'm gonna make more.
You gotta get those fingers tucked under in the claw. A little bit bigger, okay? Those are some pretty narrow French fries.
I want them to be narrow French fries.
Claw.
I had to go straight in.
There you go. Gotcha. One more.
Okay, while she keeps cutting, I'm going to make a suggestion too. Once you have your French fries cut, you could subcut these again and get diced potatoes.
That's what I was gonna do for fewer.
You were gonna do that? This would be so good on a breakfast taco. But once you get them diced, you can cook them exactly the same way with the same ingredients. There's our diced potatoes. So you almost have like a country potato, which is always delicious. So now you've got 3 options here. You can make your French fries just like the recipe. You can use
This?
yes, that. You can make your French fries that are perfectly cut. Did you get to this part, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can also do them diced for breakfast tacos or country potatoes. Okay. So the French fried potatoes sticks should go in your bowl. And I would even kind of separate them as you throw them in. Okay. And then I'm going to do my other half of my potato.
Why do we have cheese?
Okay. And I'm even gonna do some little like half sizes. I kind of want to see how they all come out. Now, if you've got extra pieces like this of potato, they're not as pretty. Remember, we were squaring our potato, but you could take those little scraps and dice those up too. Because once you get them diced, you won't be able to tell they're really like different sizes. Or again, what word are we using when something doesn't really match up? We call it right. So now I'm going to show you on camera here. I've got one pile that's perfectly cooked, and then perfectly cut. And then this pile is sort of my scraps, and they're different sizes. Okay.
Right, you pay attention on chocolates if we're gonna do this.
Okay, if you've got really thick pieces of potato, are they going to take longer to cook than thin pieces?
And this is gonna take.
What do you think? Thick potatoes are going to take longer to cook. Okay. All right. So is yours in a bowl, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to get myself a spatula. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of move them around a little bit because they're wet. And that's just naturally how a potato is. They're kind of sticking together a little bit. Now, since we're doing one, we're not going to do the exact measures while we're on Zoom. Okay. But the ingredients are a half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to eyeball this because I only have one potato in my bowl. Okay. I'm going to use about this much. What do you call that much? I'm kind of joking. There's really not a measure for that. It was less than a quarter cup. And then I'm going to keep stirring as I add each ingredient. And then you can kind of, if you're only doing 1 or 2 potatoes, you can kind of eyeball it. I feel like I need a little more cheese. Okay.
I'm good at cooking.
Okay, and then the recipe calls for a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm going to go a little less than 1 tablespoon. Again, I feel like I need to kind of stir as I go here. That cheese smells so good. Okay, so that's in. The next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of garlic. And the recipe suggested just granulated. And when I read that, I think, well, we're either going to have garlic powder, garlic salt, or we have discovered a new product at our house, and it's called garlic pepper. So I'm going to put this in my potatoes. Have y'all ever tried this before? It is delicious. Okay, so I'm sprinkling it with the garlic pepper. The next ingredient is a tablespoon of parsley. And then we're gonna end with a little bit of salt. Okay, how far along are y'all? Am I getting ahead of you?
That's okay. So are you gonna make French fries or good?
Okay, so I'm gonna stir while everybody catches up.
Just put it all in. You want to do both parts or do you want four?
Good job. That's a pretty bottle of olive oil. I like that. While y'all do that, I'm just gonna clean up just a little bit and put some stuff in my sink.
Calls for 2 teaspoons of salt. Let's just do 1.
I thought you liked salt, Mommy.
Well, I do.
We need garlic,
What'd you do with that? No,
garlic, 2 tablespoons. Just 1
2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons?
teaspoons.
Okay.
Teaspoon.
We're just gonna do 1 because we don't have quite that many potatoes. Scrape it against the top.
If y'all ever see a recipe from me, I always use a capital T for teaspoon, and I use a lowercase TSP for teaspoon. That's what I was taught, and a lot of recipes that I see now that bloggers do or that I see on Pinterest, they don't stick with that standard, and I think it's really good if everybody uses the same because then you never wonder. A lot of times when I see it spelled out, I think it looks too similar. Does that make sense? Because it's a whole long word and it's lowercase, and I just think it's better. All right, so tell me when y'all get that mixed up, Emily.
Oh, it smells yummy, doesn't it? I didn't do parsley. Do you want to put some parsley in there?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so she is like no green stuff, right?
I want classic cheesy potatoes.
There you
I
go.
love it. All right, y'all good to go?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna add a piece of, okay, this is another word that Miss Gretchen says like she's from Angleton. Say that word.
Foil.
So I automatically want to say full.
Full.
Ridiculous, right? It's kind of like rice and oil, but
No.
foil is the word. So this is always nice to cover your pan and spray it with a little bit of cooking spray. I cover my pans with either parchment or foil, and then it keeps us from having to wash a pan. All right, so all of this, Emily, you're gonna dump right onto your pan. and spread it out to where it's in a nice even layer to where you don't have too many potatoes piled up on top of each other.
Cheese.
I don't want to waste good cheese.
I want to waste
All right, spread it all out with your thing.
Do you think you've got enough cheese? I feel like I may want to add more. That's the best part, right?
Yep.
Although I'll eat a potato any way I can get it. I think they're so
I
good.
know, right? You got 'em.
Spread it out.
Okay, so these are gonna bake for 15 minutes. You're gonna take them out and flip them over and bake another 15 to 30 minutes. So they take a good while, but it's definitely worth it. When you take them out, you can add a little bit more salt, but these are going in. I'm gonna go put mine in the oven.
All right, set your timer. 15 minutes. Now, you like to do the microwave. She's not.
Okay. All right. So while those are baking, we're going to do a few other things. And I want to take a second to talk about some of the 4-H food show questions. And I'm going to ask you some questions to think about. Emily obviously is going to answer these. If you're watching on the feedback, you can pause or keep going either way. But Emily, this is not being graded. I'm not putting you on the spot. Don't worry. Where are you going? She's leaving. She's back. Okay. She's like, questions? Me? No, I'm hiding. No one. I'm not here. Okay, so
This is
here's
supposed to be a weekend.
yes. Well, it's fixing to be a weekend, and Miss Gretchen's gonna maybe turn the ringer off on her phone for the rest of the weekend. I'll tell you that. Okay, so here's one I know you can answer. What activities, what learning experiences have you done this fall in your 4-H Foods and Nutrition project?
Cook along
Perfect.
and food challenge.
Yes, so your learning experiences have been so far 3 cook-alongs. And if they ask you that question at the food show, you can say, one thing that Miss Gretchen taught me was how to make a classic hamburger. And one day when I go to Texas State University, I'm going to be able to feed my roommates. Oh, I'm sorry, LSU. This girl's going to LSU, right? Okay.
I'm
When
not
I
sure
get
his mother would like that, but
yes. When I go to LSU one day, I'm going to be able to feed all my roommates before the football games. Okay. Let's see. What have you learned during these learning experiences about healthy eating? What do you think? What's something that I told you today that's an alternative to the potato? What is that?
I don't know what it's called.
It's called a jicama. Okay. So you learned alternatives to different food, right?
And
We've-
instead of eggs, applesauce.
Yes, you know this, girl. That's good. One other thing that I wrote in my notes and never said a while ago, but we are baking our French fries. How are French fries cooked if we go to Chicken E or Chick-fil-A and get French fries? Do y'all know?
Fried.
They're fried. They are deep fried in oil. The oil is absorbed into the potato, and then we eat it. And then that oil that is artery clogging is sitting in our bodies, right? And we've got to get it off with exercise and eating other good foods. So this baked French fry recipe is a healthy eating or healthy alternative for us. Let's see. One more question. Tell me one thing that you learned about food safety while you've been going through your learning experiences.
Don't separate your meats and your vegetables and your produce, your goods.
Very good. What do you put on the cutting board first?
Your
Yeah, say it louder. You were
produce.
What?
Produce.
Produce. So fresh vegetables. We did our tomato last week on the cutting board. Then we put it away. Then we got out the raw meat, right? So we are not causing cross
contamination.
Okay, or we are eliminating cross contamination, we should say. Okay, so we have an appointment, right, to visit. I don't know if your mom told you, but we're going to have like a mock presentation, and I'm going to give you some tips. I think I have almost everybody scheduled. So it's really nice to be able to just go through that with me and with a familiar face before you get to the food show. But I want y'all to remember, when you go to the food show, the judges are agents, just like myself, county extension agents. Okay. They're all very nice people. They are also 4-H moms and dads, just like your mom and dad, Emily. Okay. So don't panic about the people asking you questions, because they just want to hear about it. So they just want you to talk and give them some answers. Okay. All right. So now we're going to play a game.
Okay.
We are going to play the food edition of Would You Rather. Are you ready? Would you rather eat broccoli chip cookies or avocado ice cream?
I like broccoli more than I do avocados.
Okay, so you're going to try the broccoli chip cookie. Okay. All right. Would you rather only ever eat with a knife or only ever eat with a spoon? That's kind of weird, right?
Spoon.
A spoon. Okay. One thing this reminded me of is sometimes I see my kids, if they're making, and I've seen maybe my adult husband do this as well, that if they're making a peanut butter sandwich and they're finished, they lick the knife. And I think we talked about this last year in the cook along. Don't ever lick a knife, because you can actually cut your tongue with it. So, okay, here's another one. This one's a little more fun. Never eat spaghetti again or never eat rice again.
Never eat rice again.
Okay, that was easy. Would you rather eat ice cream covered in ketchup or a hamburger covered in ice cream?
You're sounding like my dad.
What'd you say?
You're sounding like my dad.
Oh, yeah? Does he play Would You Rather?
No, he does weird food combination.
Oh, what's his weirdest one? Tell me.
Well, he used to do mac and cheese with ketchup, I think.
Do you know, I feel like I ate that when I was a kid. I feel like I did.
Chicken fried
steak with ketchup.
chicken fried steak with ketchup.
And what does he do for breakfast?
Pancakes with cheese.
What kind of cheese?
American.
Okay, I'm not sure I can get excited about Buddy's pancake breakfast here. That I've never heard that one.
It's disgusting.
Okay, she said it. It's disgusting. Okay. Do you know what my favorite combo is? Well, I've got two. I really like to make a peanut butter sandwich and put Cheetos in it. And it's like crunchy and salty and peanut buttery. And then the other one I like is a pimento cheese sandwich with Ruffles stuffed inside.
Can I go ahead and try the
I can get on board with those.
You can what?
I can get on board with those.
Yeah, I just think it's so good. And I mean, I'm talking like I eat that like every couple of years. It's not a daily thing.
Mama, can I get a scoop of ice cream with ketchup so I can see how it tastes like? I
How
know.
about just like a little spoon of it?
Okay,
For research, yeah.
thank you.
Okay, Emily, would you rather eat a whole onion or a whole lemon?
A whole lemon.
A whole lemon, okay. All
And
right,
that type of person.
here's another one. Would you rather have pancakes for dinner or enchiladas for breakfast?
Pancakes for dinner.
Pancakes for dinner is so good. We sometimes do that. In fact, I need to make them, but we'll do like pumpkin pancakes and then bacon on the side. It's a nice Friday night dinner. Okay, now the last one is kind of gross. Would you eat a plate of escargot, or would you rather eat a plate of escargot, which is snails, or deep fried grasshoppers? Pick one now, hurry. She left.
Come back.
She's out.
Come back.
Neither.
Neither.
Come back.
She's like, I quit on the last question. So those are fun. Those are fun. It's always interesting, I think, to hear about people's combinations of food that they like. I knew a man one time that ate chocolate cake with baked beans. I never saw him eat it. He swore it was delicious. Okay, so let's finish up with the project form. I don't know if you want to go ahead and do it now, or if you want to, here, I'll just list what we did. We defined a side dish. My dog is hitting the blinds on my back door. Sorry, that was loud. Remember, we're always starting with a verb. So we defined what a side dish was. We prepared garlic Parmesan baked steak fries. Oh, she's going for it. I'm watching this. Eat it. You wanted to eat it. Do it.
You're trying this after me.
You gotta get both.
I'd rather
Yeah, you got to get both. It's a combo deal, Emily.
Put it in the sink.
try. Please try.
Is it delicious?
It's horrible.
Y'all, this summer I kept seeing a combo food that people were trying on TikTok, and it was watermelon with mustard on it.
Yeah.
And my husband saw it on TikTok, so we tried it, all four of us, and everybody hated it. I mean, it just tasted like mustard on watermelon. It was so strange. It wasn't even like a good combo. It was weird. Okay, so that was awesome.
I lost my taste buds of ketchup and ice cream.
I'm gonna find you a deep fried grasshopper to try.
No.
Have you ever had a chocolate covered one?
No.
Okay, all right. I hear good, full of protein. Okay, so we defined a side dish. We prepared garlic Parmesan baked steak fries, and we reviewed food show questions. So that's your learning experiences for today. And everybody, well, it's 9:45, but go ahead and put an hour because I know your French fries aren't done. So you're going to be doing a little work on that. And I think that's it for today.
Okay.
If you were watching the playback, of course, please send me an email and tell me, because I'll have a certificate for your kid and a goodie bag from the Texas Beef Council. And if you have any questions about 4-H foods and nutrition, send me an email. I really am going to try to not answer anything this weekend, and I'll be at the office Monday to answer emails and phone calls. Okay. So I will see y'all soon.
Okay.
Bye.